Action. And what brought you to see Dr. Scarpone?
I got a concussion my freshman year during traveling soccer season, and my athletic trainer checked me out, and because of that injury, I had to go and see Dr. Scarpone.
Action.
I first met Dr. Scarpone after I suffered a concussion during my travel soccer season, and my athletic trainer checked me out and sent me to him.
Action. And tell me a little bit how you met Dr. Scarpone.
I met Dr. Scarpone after I suffered a concussion during a travel soccer game.
And relaxed. Action.
It was determined my freshman year that I had a head injury.
Okay, start again.
It was determined my freshman year that I had a head injury.
Okay, one more time.
It was determined my freshman year that I had a head injury.
A little bit more relaxed. And
It was determined my freshman year that I had a head injury.
action.
That was the first time I met Dr. Scarpone, and after further testing, he concluded that I had a significant head injury, or concussion. During that consultation with Dr. Scarpone, he determined that I had a significant concussion.
Go.
During that consultation with Dr. Scarpone, he concluded that I had a significant concussion.
Action.
During that consultation, during the consultation with Dr. Scarpone, he concluded that I had a significant concussion.
Again.
During that consultation with Dr. Scarpone, he concluded that I had a significant concussion.
Again.
During that consultation with Dr. Scarpone, he determined that I had a significant concussion.
Okay. Action.
For 9 weeks, I had to travel to Akron because Dr. Scarpone did not yet have the technology to.
Action.
At that time, the technology was not available in the area.
Better. More emotion.
At that time,
Well, not like that. But
no, I think.
Who are you looking at?
just relax a little bit. Okay. At that time,
Okay.
it was such an inconvenience.
Okay.
9 weeks. I had to drive to Akron. Like, and action.
At that time, I don't.
At that time, the technology was not available.
Okay.
Here in this area.
Okay. At that time, the technology was not available in this area.
One more time.
At that time, the technology was not available in this area, so I had to travel 9 weeks to Akron.
Action.
This technology now is available with Dr. Scarpone at Trinity Sports Medicine.
Okay, too mechanical. Loosen up a little bit. This technology is now available here at Trinity Sports Medicine with Dr. Michael Scarpone
Okay.
and Dr. Michael Scarpone, whatever, however you feel comfortable. Action.
This technology is now available with Dr. Scarpone at Trinity Sports Medicine.
I'd say this technology is now
Here.
is now available here.
Okay.
Like that, now available here.
This technology is now available here with Dr. Scarpone at Trinity Sports Medicine. This technology is now available here.
Action.
I would recommend anyone in need of concussion management to see Dr. Scarpone.
Go.
I would recommend anyone in need of concussion management to go to Dr. Scarpone.
Action.
I would recommend anyone in need of concussion management to go see Dr. Scarpone.
My daughter,
Hard, isn't it?
yeah, it is once you're thinking of it. Yeah,
It's easier just to BS it.
yeah.
All right.
Okay.
And action.
My daughter received a severe head injury while playing soccer. And at the time, there was not the technology here for it.
Tell me a little bit about your experience with your daughter's head injury.
My daughter,
Sorry, start again, and action.
my daughter, oh my goodness, I can't even do it now. Okay, my daughter. While playing soccer several years ago, my daughter suffered a severe head injury. Several years ago, my daughter suffered a head injury while she was playing soccer, and the technology was not here.
Action.
At the time my daughter suffered a head injury, the technology was not here.
Action.
Oh my goodness, I totally forgot. Okay. Oh. Tell me when you're ready, and I'll.
Whenever you're ready, go ahead.
My daughter suffered a severe concussion several years ago, and at the time the technology was not available here.
Action.
Several years ago, my daughter suffered a concussion, and we had. Several years ago, my daughter suffered a concussion during soccer, and the technology was not here for therapy.
And action.
Several years ago, my daughter suffered a concussion, and the technology.
And action.
Several years ago, my daughter suffered a severe concussion.
Ready? And action.
Several years ago, my daughter suffered a severe concussion.
Again.
Several years ago, my daughter suffered a severe concussion.
Right, there you go. Action.
At the time, technology was not available here.
Again.
At the time, technology was not available here. Parent and coach, I was happy to hear that Dr. Scarpone and Trinity Medicine now have concussion therapy. Management.
Ready? One more time. And action.
Okay. Management or therapy? Okay.
You quit yelling at your mom.
Yeah.
Ready? And action.
As a parent and a coach, I was happy to hear that Dr. Scarpone and Trinity Medicine now have concussion management therapy.
Therapy.
Just
Okay.
talk it over with yourself for a
Yeah,
couple
just talk it to
seconds.
me.
As a parent and a coach, I was glad to hear now that, let me start over. As a parent and a coach, I was glad to hear that Dr. Scarpone and Trinity Sports Medicine now have the concussion management available here.
And action.
As a parent and a coach, I was glad to hear that Dr. Scarpone and Trinity Sports Medicine now have concussion management available here.
Dr. Scarpone and his staff do an outstanding job of diagnosing head injuries, determining proper treatment, and the remarkable thing is that we have an on-site management team that's able to work with them to try to get them on the field as quickly and as safely as possible.
Action.
Dr. Scarpone and his staff do an outstanding job of diagnosing head injuries, determining the steps of proper treatment, having an on-site facility, training staff to be able to take care of our athletes and get them back on the field as quickly and as safely as possible is a tremendous benefit to our athletic program.
Action.
From a personal standpoint, it's good to know that there is a team physician that is willing to take your phone call from an injury standpoint that you might have received. From a personal standpoint, I had a back injury that Dr. Scarpone was able to treat and to get me back where I needed to be. That wasn't very.
And action.
I experienced firsthand with my own personal muscle tear the experience staff that Dr. Scarpone has and the way they're able to treat and diagnose injuries. I lost it.
Rolling. Action.
I experienced firsthand Dr. Scarpone and his staff being able to, okay. All right.
Ready? Action.
I experienced firsthand Dr. Scarpone and his staff, we got to start over
Go
again.
ahead.
Okay.
Ready?
I experienced firsthand Dr. Scarpone and his staff being able to treat my personal injury. The diagnosis, the treatment was top notch.
You're ready.
Have an athletic trainer on site minimizes the amount of time that athletes are missing practice, missing competition, and the availability of them is always, I'm losing mine.
That's all right.
Okay.
That's all right. Start over whenever you're ready.
All right. All right. Having an athletic trainer on site makes it convenient for all coaches. Being able to get their athletes to the trainer, I'm losing it. Okay. Minimize this. I think I just out of my the.
And action.
Have an athletic trainer on site is a great benefit to all coaches. Our trainer is able to diagnose, treat, and get our athletes back on the field within a short time frame. And that was it. There's a peace of mind knowing that there is a trained professional on site ready to treat our athletes.
That's all right.
There's a peace of mind knowing that there's a trained professional on site ready to treat and diagnose our student athletes as they become injured and getting them back on the playing field as quickly and as safely as possible.
And action.
The 2012 high school football season will be the 12th year that I've used Dr. Scarpone's medical services at 3 different schools: Wellsville High School, when I was head coach of the Steubenville Stampede, and now at Toronto High School. And it's been a tremendous experience. As coaches, we are not medical professionals, and it allows us to do our jobs better and for the safety of the student athletes. If the athletic trainer who's on site full-time can evaluate bumps and bruises on a daily basis and major injuries and get in to see Dr. Scarpone immediately. We found out over the past 12 years that using Dr. Scarpone and his training service that our student athletes are back on the field quicker, and it gives us a peace of mind knowing that we've provided this service for our students and they're in good hands with Dr. Scarpone and his team.
Action.
A few years ago, when my son was 10 years old playing Little League football, he had a high ankle injury, and we got him into Dr. Scarpone's team immediately, and they did extensive rehab with him and got him back on the field at a very quick rate, and he's had no problems with that ankle. Here we are 2 years later. So from a personal standpoint as a father, it's also been beneficial.
Action.
From a personal standpoint as a father, a few years ago my son was 10 years old and had a high ankle injury playing Little League football. I immediately thought of Dr. Scarpone, got him into the doctor immediately, and his team did extensive rehab on my son. My son was back playing in a very short period of time, and here we are 2 years later, and he's had no problems with that ankle. And again, not only peace of mind as a coach, but as a parent, whenever there's a problem, I think of Dr. Scarpone and his people immediately.
Action.
I've had the opportunity to work with Dr. Scarpone's office for years. First of all, in a position of being a basketball coach, and we were lucky enough to have Jenny Arbogast as our trainer to work at our school. If we had problems that she could not handle, she relayed us to do Dr. Scarpone. Later on, I became athletic director, and I would deal with a number of different athletes, of course. And in that position, we once again had Jenny, and then had the privilege of having Lauren Flood, both of whom did a tremendous job dealing with our athletes. It was very comfortable knowing that we had someone that we could pick up the telephone at any point in time and expect to get a reply, and if necessary, could get us right in to see Doc. And then on a personal note, you know, as a parent, I had the opportunity to, I guess I shouldn't call it an opportunity when you have to deal with your son, dealing with a trainer or dealing with Dr. Scarpone, but it surely was a good feeling to know when we dealt with some problems. My son is a 3-sport athlete, very proud of that, and with those, you know, playing year-round, of course, come injuries. And it was a very good feeling to know that you could pick up the telephone and get some immediate help when you needed it. There's a high anxiety when your son gets hurt, and of course the people were you know, helped a great deal with the anxiety as well as obviously the physical part of it.
Okay. And don't look at the camera, whatever you do. Look at Jenny the whole time, and action.
It's something that was really exciting to be involved in was the innovative PRP that was performed on my son. Once again speaking, you know, it's a high anxiety time when your child is hurt, when any student obviously is hurt, a student athlete. But you know, it was interesting to watch as I got to watch the procedure as they pulled the blood out of his elbow, and then they took it to the lab, spun it out, and then injected the platelets back in. And it was amazing. It was totally amazing the rehab that took place, how quickly things came around after that. I know, like I say, it was something innovative that I had never seen in action before, and it was a very positive experience for us.
Action.
I would definitely recommend Dr. Scarpone, his office, his staff, anytime that you'd face any type of injury in the athletic field.
Action.
Being a 3-sport athlete, I can't really afford much downtime, so I always go to Dr. Scarpone when I get hurt. I have a lot of injuries, and he gets me back on the field quickly and ready to go.
Action.
Being a 3-sport athlete, I don't have much time for time.
It's all right. Just
All right.
start over. It's okay.
Got it this time, guaranteed.
And action.
being a three-sport athlete, I don't have much time for downtime. So I always go to Dr. Scarpone when I get hurt, which happens a lot. So he gets me back on the field quickly and ready to go.
Action.
Being a three-sport athlete, I don't have much time for downtime. So I always go to Dr. Scarpone as soon as I get hurt, and he gets me back on the field quickly and ready to go.
One more time, go.
Being a three-sport athlete, I don't have much time for downtime. I probably stuttered.
Sorry, start again.
Go.
Being a three-sport athlete, I don't have much time for downtime. So I always go to Dr. Scarpone as soon as I get hurt, and he gets me back on the field ready to go as quickly as possible.
One more time. And action.
Being a three-sport athlete, I don't have...
Sorry.
I'm ready. We're good. We're good.
Take it off.
We're good.
Take your time.
Most important play is the next play.
We're good. I'm all right. I'm all right.
He's got this.
Being a three-sport athlete, I don't have much time for downtime. So I always call Dr. Scarpone as soon as I get hurt, and he gets me back on the field as quick as possible.
Action.
I've had the opportunity to work with Dr. Scarpone and his staff in a variety of different fashions. First of all, as a coach for many, many years, I had the opportunity to deal with his trainers and then be relayed to the doctor if necessary. Then as athletic director, of course, things expanded. And we had, I still call it an opportunity. I'm not sure that that's the proper word when you're talking about athletes being hurt, but it sure was good to have his trainers, his staff there, and Dr. Scarpone himself. And later on, as a parent, of course, you reach a high anxiety when your son is hurt. And Dr. Scarpone, his staff have been excellent in every way, shape, and form as far as providing help in all of those areas.
Action.
What am I talking about?
And action.
Being a parent of 2 boys involved in 3 varsity programs at Edison High School, along with being actively involved in the athletic department, we've got to experience a lot of different aspects of Dr. Scarpone's office and his staff there. With my 2 sons, Gregory has actively been a pitcher with the Edison baseball team. We've experienced some tendon problems and arm problems that we have been working with the 14-step rehab program that Dr. Scarpone has to get him back on the field when he needs to be and get him. That's not right.
And action.
In his pitching at Edison High School, Gregory has experienced some arm problems and some shoulder injuries that we have seen Dr. Scarpone for over the past couple years that we have rehabbed with extensively, and have found that when Gregory's healthy, that Dr. Scarpone also has some preventive programs that the boys use to keep them on the field and back throwing when they need to be in the appropriate time in the time frame. Tyler in his football and his basketball has experienced the PRP and the concussion testing as well, and we're always just looking to keep them healthy and seeing the correct physicians and getting the correct rehab whenever necessary.
And action.
With Gregory's severe arm problems that we had last summer, we visited Dr. Scarpone throughout the summer for his rehab programs and his 14-week throwing programs, which enabled Gregory to get back on the field this year and have a very successful season, allow him to be recruited and be continuing his baseball career at college later this year at Mount Vernon Nazarene. That doesn't work. Last year, in Gregory's junior year, he sustained some injuries to his arm and his tendons, which really prevented him from performing at his peak, and seeing Dr. Scarpone and his staff and their 14-week rehab program that he offers there really enabled Gregory to get back on the field and have a successful senior season that led to him being able to achieve now at the college level and to perform in their baseball programs there.
Action.
Had Dr. Scarpone and his staff of athletic trainers and workers in his clinic not seen Gregory and worked with him in this preventive treatment and moved him up to the next level, you know, his dream of becoming seen at the next level and participating at the next level in the baseball programs may not have been possible for him.
Without the help of Dr. Scarpone and staff, I wouldn't have been able to get back. Without it,
That's all right.
I gotta try to think. Without the help of Dr. Scarpone and staff, I wouldn't have been able to get back to senior year without injury.
Action.
Without the help of Dr. Scarpone and staff, I wouldn't have been able to get back to play my senior year of baseball injury-free.
And action.
Without the help of Dr. Scarpone and staff, I wouldn't have been able to get back to play my senior year of baseball injury-free.
And action.
I always had the confidence knowing there was someone at our games, home or away, and that could give us treatment before we leave to go on the road at the school.
And sell it. Action.
I always had the confidence knowing that there was someone at the school or at our home or away games to give us treatment in case of injury.
Action.
Well, I've known Dr. Scarpone for over 30 years. I'm going to look over here this time. I've known Dr. Scarpone for over 30 years, and I can tell you that he's one of the best sports medicine physicians I've ever come in contact with personally. He's helped me with my knees and my back and a number of other problems that have occurred in my life. But I think that the biggest part about Dr. Scarpone is how he can stay on track with new things that are coming up, or else he wouldn't be working with the Pittsburgh Pirates and all these other schools in the area. And I think that he is one of the greatest physicians that you can go to.
And action.
Well, I've known Dr. Scarpone and his family for over 30 years, and when Doc started practicing here, I was one of his first patients because I get hurt a lot, and he's helped me with an awful lot of the injuries that I've had. And I think that one of the biggest things that I appreciate about Dr. Scarpone and his practice in sports medicine is how he stays current with the technology and everything that goes into modern day medicine. And I think this is evident in his work with the Pittsburgh Pirates and with all the other sporting teams in the area.
Action.
I think what a lot of people in the area don't realize is the resource that we have in Dr. Scarpone. He started a lot of new programs with Trinity Health System, the ACL program, the concussion program, throwing programs. I think this is important to young athletes because if you want to stay healthy, you have to prevent injuries. And to prevent those, you really have to be proactive about that so that you can strengthen certain parts of your body and remain injury-free throughout your season. My lips are sticking.